this game was going to be on the list, but many of you probably thought it was going to be higher. Well, no. It's a good game from the series that I love to play. The music is fantastic. I mean, just listen to the opening sequence. Amazing. Unfortunately, music alone can't win the list. This game does have some good features aside from the music. It has 2 great stories going on at once, which is really new and works really well for this series. Cosmospheres, or in this game, genometrics, are still weird and informative, but there are some aspects that slow it down. The repetitive battles, the bland characters, and a bit too much weird stuff for me.
Hi. You're alive. Look what I have. It's yours now. Come on. Pull. There. The transistor.
From Supergiant Games, the same people who made Bastion, comes their next game, Transistor. Now sometimes it can be a bit difficult coming from a very positively reviewed game, and although not as good as Bastion, it had me playing it right to the end, in one afternoon, since it only took me 4 hours to beat. Not kidding, look. First off, the positives. The game is gorgeous. It's great on the eyes, and I love looking at all the sections in the game, even though they ended up being a bit samey near the end. The music is great, the characters are well done, even if one is a talking sword and one has no voice. The battle system was something really new for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it using my great tactics. Bad things, as you could probably guess, was how short it was. I paid full price, and I felt a little ripped off for a game that only took up part of my day. Still had fun when I was playing it, so I guess that's all I wanted.
Do something. Right.
I went into this game pretty blind. I saw a bit of a video on it, and I knew it was in its alpha stage, but for a game in that stage, it holds up pretty well considering all of the other games that fail to update. Anyways, The Forest is a survival game where the main character has crash landed in this commercial plane, and you must find food and shelter and live. You cut down trees, build houses, gather materials. Many people compare it to Minecraft, and yes, it draws some similarities, but I find it appealing in that it's not all blocky and the survival aspect works really well and makes you scavenge for stuff, when you'd rather sit down and wait. As you explore this lovely scenery, you come across some abandoned camps, or even small houses that have, well, people hanging dead in them. Oh, did I mention that this game has crazy cannibals running around trying to kill other tribes of cannibals and you if you get caught up? Yeah, it has that shit. So keep your fire lit and make lots of Molotovs. Oceans.
Here, I pretend I'm something brave, like a Cloudosaurus or a hippogriff.
None of those exist. Hey, I got a hat on without even doing anything. Oh, whoops. Sorry, child. I love you. Oh, I want this one instead.
I bet you don't.
Despite my frustrations in my Let's Play video of Octodad, I really liked the game. There's only so much serious game stories I can take before needing something comedic and lighthearted to cheer me up, and Octodad is great for that. In this game, you control an octopus who is a father of some human children somehow, and you go about your day doing dad stuff and octopus stuff. The catch is that the controls are hard as balls to control at times. Especially in 2-player mode, where you have one person controlling certain appendages and the other one's doing fuck all, and it's like, oh, fuck, Joshua. There's nothing riveting about the story or the characters. It's just good times. It's another short game, yes, but this one's allowed to be short because, hey, how long can you go controlling an octopus before it gets old? I think they ended it in a good place, and it made me replay it a few times now, especially when there are hidden ties to collect. That one! Oh, I have to do multiple ones? Fuck. It has been a long time since I was sucked into a game for hours on end, and Banished did exactly that with me. I shoved about like 40 hours into the game in roughly like 4 or 5 days. It's really addicting building up your town, managing your people, watching them get murdered by a random tornado because you decided to build a school. Yeah, anything can happen. Why? Oh, fuck me. Oh god, no. Go, no, 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 no. Oh my god, my entire population has died! The learning curve is a bit steep in that you have to learn what each building does, how to manage people in order to build and feed your community, how to collect materials, how to produce goods for trading, how to trade. It's best to take the tutorial first, which I didn't do because I'm stubborn like that. There's so much you can do in this game, and it's fun to see how far you can go before something bizarre happens, or there's a big shortage of something and you're flooded with a bunch of mini icons saying that people are either freezing to death, or starving, or they broke their goddamn tools.
Lives shattered. Love lost. One day, a farmer. The next, a soldier. Sent far from home and torn from their loved ones.
Most video games favor World War II over the first one because, well, there's a clear bad guy who was Hitler. Fortunately, Valiant Hearts is set in the First World War, also known as the Great War, where you control 4 different characters, one of which is Emile, an old man who lives in France, who is forced to go to the war due to shortages of men. Another one is Emile's son-in-law, who was also conscripted, but he is technically a German national, and you can see where this is going. It's a beautiful story that shows the brutality of war and the conflicting emotions between the characters, who only want to be with their families. It's a very simple game where you find an item to unlock the path further along the linear 2D side-scrolling type gameplay. There are also driving events and puzzles to figure out, and through it you can collect mementos and letters detailing the real-life Great War, giving you a peek inside what happened during those bleak times. Although it doesn't have much replayability, it is definitely worth a playthrough as it is charming and tells a great story.
Some did not. These are their stories.
Holy shit, it's a JoJo game! It has the fabulousness of the manga, and all the characters and the special moves you could want. Although the mechanics of the games are pretty standard at best, you play this game for the characters. You play it because you want to be fabulous and kick some ass. It has a story mode with each story arc to play through as certain fighters versus certain characters, and it's very accurate to the manga. Although very cut down and short, it's still a lot of fun. There's also an online mode and versus mode, like a typical fighter game. I just love JoJo a lot, so I had so much fun quoting the characters and using all the sweet moves I knew and loved.
Humans and elves of Sauron, a great evil has descended upon us. I believe we are facing a threat to our entire world. Our only hope is for our 2 factions to join forces. Tonight, we are no longer elves, goths, or girls. Tonight, we fight as one!
Fuck that! We do not team up with fucking elves.
Only good elf is a dead elf.
Why don't you suck my elven dick, buddy?
If you're a South Park fan, you will want to get your hands on this for sure, even if you hate RPG-style games. It is packed full of references from the show, from summons in battle to collectible Chimpokomon scattered all over the town. This setup is amazingly fun, even from the initial choices of job class. It throws great lines at you and makes you laugh throughout the whole game. Now, as for the actual gameplay, it's really basic and almost impossible to lose, unless you're fighting Al Gore with his CIA dudes unprepared. It's a typical turn-based RPG that allows you to attack, use fart magic, use items, summon specific characters from the show, and you have the ability to time your blockings when the opponent attacks. The game is limited to the town, as it should be, and has enough twists and weird shit that goes on to keep you occupied for 10 or so hours that'll take you to beat it. As a fan of South Park, this was amazingly fun to play. I've never laughed so much when playing a game.
Armies of Justice! Prepare! Ready! And let's beat up Clad!
I can't believe you, Enzo. I didn't know the in-flight service was exclusive to fat Italians.
Man, the plane ain't free, you know. That reminds me, you owe Alex the Kid for the charter. Whoa!
Back to more serious-ish games, rather than my personal show preferences. Bayonetta 2 is holy shit, balls to the walls, crazy fun. This is the perfect action game to play through, hands down. The prologue alone should get anyone to play through the game. I mean, just watch this shit. If you didn't get hyped from watching that, something is wrong with you. It feels much like the first Bayonetta game, what with the combos to perform crazy shit and crazy ass bosses and awesome enemy designs, and you really feel like you're kicking some serious ass. It feels so good. I don't know what else to say about this. It has great controls despite the huge Wii U controller that's bullshit. It has good characters, epic fights. Everything you liked about the first game is tripled in this one. Before getting to number 1, here are a few games that didn't quite make the list and should have an honorable mention. This is probably on many people's lists, and rightfully so, but it's on mine as well, so deal with it. Everyone knows about the Dark Souls games, that they're fucking hard and punishing if you fuck up even the littlest bit. But you know what? Good! Games are getting way too easy nowadays, and this was a huge step in the right direction for challenging games. Now, I will admit, Dark Souls 2, although handles a shit ton better than Dark Souls, it doesn't have the same charm as the first game did, what with the memorable characters and detailed world. Although that section isn't better, my god did they improve on the game mechanics. Everything is so tight and so smooth, it really feels like it's your fault when you die. The game is filled with great music, awesome bosses, save for one, and it does hold some great plot points and characters. Ones that are of course sad and tragic beyond measure, but that's the Dark Souls way. I have played this game a lot, and I've loved it each time. Just by changing your class and what you fight with can introduce a whole new level of strategy and difficulty, making it feel like a whole new game. Not many games can do that. Honestly, if you haven't tried this game out, even if you haven't played Dark Souls or Demon Souls, give it a go. Then tackle the other ones later if you want. Just make sure you play it eventually.
Very good. Very good. Very